Hello everybody, welcome back. Let's have a look at COTI today. I'm doing these altcoin requests. If you want me to look at something else, put a comment down in the description, or join the Patreon, because that's all we do Tuesdays and Fridays. Just looking at loads of altcoin charts, or any chart for that matter. So yeah, like I say, link in the description below for that. But otherwise, let's just stare at COTI and admire what it's been doing. So we had this huge, massive, big beast move after the golden cross. So basically, golden cross down to retest the simple moving average down here, which is really neat and tidy actually. If we just have a look at this, very neat and tidy. Bang! All the way up, huge consolidation. Bang, bang. Are we going to do the same sort of thing again? Is it going to be another massive move? This is a big retracement from the top to the bottom. That pulled back 68%, way more than some of these other coins that we've looked at. So this one has a big move up and a huge move down. It's still creating higher highs, higher lows, but yeah, big whopping move down. But since the last rebound, 1, 2, and more or less 3, those golden cross retests do have a habit of doing a V-shaped recovery. So on this one, despite these two massive peaks, I'd probably be looking at this target around 20 to 21 cents really, which is still a massive move based on what we're looking at right now. Now this is a daily, so there's no real pump signal on this at all. We're sort of losing a little bit of momentum, but there is no bearish divergence on this. So actually, you know, as far as holding the trend is concerned, it seems like it wants to hold the trend. And considering how neat and tidy it was on those retests of the 200 simple, I'd probably give it credit, you know, a bit more validity because of how well it's performed previously after doing a golden cross retest, and then seeing the 2, almost 3 touches this time on the daily and up and away. Plus, I'm quite bullish on the market overall. You know, and if it does come back down further, it's not a big deal. You know, we start a dollar cost average process. We started it last week. We'll continue it if we make, you know, if we continue to make new lows. So what we're seeing over here again, nice and neat. Golden cross 4 hourly pull back into the 200 exponential, trying to bounce from it again now. Again, it's Bitcoin and Ethereum that's going to stop us from moving up immediately today. Yet today was a decent day. It wasn't amazing, it was decent, and today is a bit of a pullback day. It seems to be the case actually these days. You know, the beginning of the week seems quite bullish, and then sort of tails off in the midweek, and then finishes off a bit bullish. So generally, I would still be looking at all of it as opportunities to start the dollar cost averaging process, for what I expect to be continuation largely over the next year or so. So don't go all in. But if you were to put a sizable portion down, I suppose the first area would be just a little bit lower than where we're at right now, 13 cents really, that 200 exponential on the 4 hourly. Now the 4 hourly doesn't have any pump signals. The pump signal, it did have one, and I would say that that's played out already. It was generated at 12, managed to push all the way up to 15. That's decent to get that sort of move based on a pump signal on a 4 hourly. Now we do have pump signals on the 12 hourly generated at 14 cents. I'll probably make the case that this hasn't played yet. We need to make sure that we hold these areas. But yeah, we've got a pump signal on here, and I probably would target 15.6, 15.7, 12 hourly, 200 simple moving average, which is still above us at this point now. So there's enough evidence, I would say, to expect another big move on this one. The 12 hourly has it. It's going to need Bitcoin and Ethereum to allow for it, and so long as they can hold sort of these areas or stay stable or green, then this one should start pumping up. And again, the next major target is just short of 16 cents really, 15.8 cents. Let's check the weekly, see what the overall picture of the weekly looks like. Not dissimilar to many altcoins really. So we did have these pump signals, and now they are finished. We are more or less below most moving averages. So for this to get super bullish and, you know, really start to sort of pump it up really, you got to get this weekly above all these bad boys, including the 200 simple, which again is 15.4. So if that 12 hourly pumps and we get that pump and it closes above 15.5 or higher, the weekly is in a really good position to see continuation, more or less, yeah, immediately, as immediate as a weekly will permit. So overall, it's a nice chart which can offer a huge volatile move. We've seen them in the past, obviously, haven't we? Look at these candles, bang, bang, boom. all in 1 week. Very large candle bodies. From wick to wick, that candle was 179%. So it might be slow to start with because we've got increments that we've got to reclaim. Once they're reclaimed, you basically do have the freedom to launch. You could see us up to 25 cents quite quickly, really, from these areas. But the problem that we've got right now is that we're sitting below some major resistances on a weekly. The daily seems okay. 4 hourly is neither here nor there, but seems okay. It's the 12 hourly which is strange because obviously we've got death crosses that need to be reclaimed, and they basically complete above. We'll call it 16 cents really, because this is uptrending. It's not got a downwards curvature on it. So we'll say a closure above 16 cents has the capacity to then generate a bigger pump, a much bigger pump that can take you up to between like maybe up to 24, 25 cents on this one. But in the short term, it's going to follow the market, and the market's having a bit of a pullback today. That's fine. Allow that to happen. You could buy these dips all the way down to, we'll call it 12 cents. So 12 cents would probably be the limit before I start to consider it to have failed. Yeah, 12 well, we'll call it 11.1 cents is the absolute low, and if you manage to get that, then fair play to you. That would be really, really good entry point, because that would be where you'd expect it to bounce from. And if it fails to bounce from there, then yeah, the things are going to get pretty nasty, and maybe we're not looking for any further upside at that point. So this would be the lowest entry, probably the best entry you could get. I don't know as it'll have the power to bring yourself all the way down to those levels. That will probably require Bitcoin and Ethereum, or maybe even stocks, to do that. That's a 16 to 17% pullback, really, which is quite a lot. I'm not really seeing that happen, but that's still a good risk to reward, isn't it, really, if you think about it from a spot position. And that's if you were to dive in right this very moment in time, which I wouldn't advise. You've got to wait for a better entry point, really. Don't just buy because you've seen a YouTube video of somebody saying that it might go up to this level. That's crazy. It's still a setup, one that needs to be monitored. If you wanted to get into it, you want to get into it from a lower level. If you're already in it from a lower level, then I would say just hold tight, really, and wait for it. But yeah, the risk to reward seems okay, and I think we're looking for a larger move on it. We've just got to wait for Bitcoin and Ethereum to grant permission for that, really. Right, that's pretty much all I've got to say about COTI. But if you want more, send me a comment or join the Patreon. Anyway, other than that, hope you have a nice day. Take it easy.